You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network. I'm Nicholas Callis. These are your game recaps, standing updates, and league leaders from Thursday, July the 23rd, 2020. The Angels and Yankees played each other, and 2-1 was the final score. The Yankees won this game. Both teams only scored in the fourth inning. The Angels got their first and only run in the top of the fourth, and then the Yankees scored their 2 runs in the bottom of the fourth inning. Neither team scored past that point, which made 2-1 the final score. Masahiro Tanaka got the win, Andrew Heaney got the loss, and Aroldis Chapman now has 22 saves on the year. The Twins and White Sox played each other in an AL Central matchup. 3-0 was the final score of this game. The White Sox won this game. Lucas Giolito now 12-5 on the year. Kenta Maeda got his first loss of the season, and Alex Colomé now up to 27 saves. Another AL Central game between the Indians and the Tigers saw the Indians win by a 2-1 final score. The first 4 innings went scoreless. The Indians broke the scoreless tie in the top of the 5th. The Tigers tied the game at 1 in the bottom of the 6th. And then the Indians took the lead and kept it after the top of the 8th inning. Shane Bieber got the win, Brian Garcia got the loss, and Brad Hand earned his 34th save of the season. The Mets beat the Reds by a 7-4 final score. The first 3 innings went scoreless in this game. Then each team scored 3 runs in the 4th inning. The Mets put up 4 in the top of the 5th inning to take a 7-3 lead. The Reds tacked on another run in the bottom of the 6th. But neither team scored after that point, which allowed the Mets to win by 3 runs. Jacob deGrom got the win, Trevor Bauer got the loss, and Edwin Diaz now has 27 saves on the year. The Nationals and Phillies played each other, and the Phillies won this game by a 2-0 final score. The Nationals out-hit the Phillies 4-3, but the Phillies got 2 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning, which held up throughout the entire game and allowed them to win. Zach Wheeler got the win, and Max Scherzer got the loss. Battle of Texas between the Astros and the Rangers, also an AL West matchup, but the Astros ran away with this game. 15-4 was the final score. There was offense sprinkled through this entire game from both teams, but the big difference maker was the Astros scoring 7 runs in the top of the 6th inning. They ended up winning this game by 11. Zach Greinke got the win, and Mike Minor got the loss. The Padres and Pirates played each other, and the Pirates won by a run. 7-6 was the final score after 11 innings. Keone Kela got the win, and Craig Stammen got the loss. But the Padres tied the game in the top of the 8th inning. No team scored in the 9th or the 10th, but then the Pirates were able to walk it off at PNC Park in front of their home fans in the bottom of the 11th. Again, 7-6 the final score. The Cubs and Cardinals played each other. 5-2 is the final score of this game. The Cubs came out on top. They scored early with 2 runs at the top of the 1st. They also got 2 in the top of the 4th and 1 in the top of the 5th. The Cardinals scored their only 2 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning. No team scored after that point, which yielded the final of 5-2. Cubs won. Yu Darvish got the win, Miles Michaelis got the loss, and Craig Kimbrell improves on his National League lead in saves. He has 36 now. And the Marlins and Rockies played each other. 2-1 the final score of this game. Scoring came at a premium in this one. Both teams scored in the 2nd inning. The game was tied at 1 up until the 5th when the Marlins broke that tie with a 1-run top of the 5th inning. And 2-1 was the final score of this one. Caleb Smith got the win, John Gray got the loss, and Brandon Kinsler now has 28 saves on the year. Let's take a look at standings now, starting in the American League East. The New York Yankees still at the top with a 63-39 record. The Blue Jays are 57-46. They're 6.5 games back. The Red Sox 52-50. They're 11 games back. The Rays 51-52, 12.5 games back. And the Orioles in the middle of a 6-game losing streak. They're 40-63, 23.5 games back of first. In the American League Central, the Minnesota Twins have lost 3 games in a row. They lost to the White Sox today. They're 73-32, but still at the top of this division. They also still have the best record in all of baseball. The Chicago White Sox beat the Twins today. The White Sox now 1 win away from 60. They're 59-43, but 12.5 games back of first place. The Indians are on a 3-game winning streak. They're 57-46. They beat the Tigers today, and they're 15 games back of first. The Tigers lost to the Indians today. They've now lost 3 games in a row. They're 42-61, 30 games back. And the Royals still stuck in the mid-30s for wins. They have 34 wins, 69 losses. They're 38 games back of first place. In the American League West, the Oakland Athletics still lead. They're 61-41, though they're in the middle of a 3-game losing streak. The Astros beat the Rangers today, so they're 1 win away from 60 now. They're 59-43, 2 games back of the division lead. The Angels are 46-57, 15.5 games back of first place. They lost to the Yankees today. They're on a 5-game losing streak, and they've lost 8 of their last 10 games. The Rangers, 42 and 62, 20 games back. They lost to the Astros today. And the Mariners are in the middle of a 4-game winning streak. They're 41 and 63, 21 games back of first place. Wildcard standings in the AL. See the White Sox and the Astros at the top. They're tied for that first wildcard spot, 59 and 43 records. The Blue Jays and the Indians tied for the next spot below the wildcard spots. Each team 57 and 46, and they're each 2.5 games out of one of those wildcard spots. The Red Sox still hanging around. They've been closer, but still kind of close. 7 games out, 52 and 50 is their record. Every other team in the American League has a winning percentage under 500 and is at least 8.5 games back of a wildcard spot. In the National League East, the Washington Nationals still lead. They're 58 and 46. They've lost 4 games in a row, though, which has allowed the Marlins to catch up a bit. The Marlins now a game and a half back of first place with a 56 and 47 record. The Braves 2 games back with a 55 and 47 record. The Phillies 49 and 54. They beat the Nationals today. They're 8.5 games back. They're also on a 5-game winning streak. And the Mets still in last place. They're 46 and 56, 11 games back. They beat the Reds today, and they've also won their last 2 games. In the National League Central, the St. Louis Cardinals still lead. Still have yet to get 60 wins. They're 59 and 45. They lost to the Cubs today. They lost to the Giants and the Cubs most recently, though they're still in first place in this division. The Cubs are 53 and 49. They beat the Cardinals today, so they gain a game in the division. They're 5 games back now of first place. The Brewers are 48 and 53, 9.5 games back. The Reds 42 and 60, 16 games back. And the Pirates are 37 and 65, still in last place, 21 games back of first, though they snapped their losing streak today with a win against the Padres. And in the National League West, the Los Angeles Dodgers are 69 and 34, 1 win away from 70, still at the top of this division. The Diamondbacks have won their last 2 games. They're 55 and 47, 13.5 games back. Padres 55 and 48. They lost their winning streak today after losing to the Pirates. They're 14 games back of first place. The Rockies are 43 and 60, 26 games back. And the Giants are 39 and 63. They're 29.5 games back. They're a win away from 40. They're still in last place, though. And here are the wildcard standings in the National League. The Marlins have the top wildcard spot with a 56 and 47 record. The Braves and Diamondbacks tied for the second wildcard spot. They each have 55 and 47 records. The Padres are a half game out. They're 55 and 48. These 4 teams yesterday were tied for the top wildcard spot. They all had the same record, and since some of them have played today and some of them haven't, most of them have different records now from the others. The Braves and Diamondbacks still tied, but they're second. They have the second wildcard spot right now. The Marlins won today, so they move up a game. They have the top wildcard spot now, and the Padres move a half game down since they lost today. The Cubs are 53 and 49. They're 2 games back of a wildcard spot. The Phillies working their way back. They've won 5 games in a row. They're getting back toward a 500 winning percentage. They're still kind of far out, though, 6.5 games back. The Brewers have a 48 and 53 record. They're 6.5 games back like the Phillies are. Every other team in the National League has a winning percentage under 500 and is at least 9 games back of a wildcard spot. Let's take a look at league leaders now, starting with batting average leaders in the American League. Miguel Cabrera at a 348. He's at the top. JD Martinez, the second best with a 333, and Carlos Santana, third best with a 330. In the National League, Jonathan Villar leads with a 348. Christian Yelich, second best with a 346, and Corey Seager, third best with a 343. Hits leaders in the American League, Miguel Cabrera has the most at 138. Miguel Andujar, second most at 136. And JD Martinez, third most at 135. In the National League, Jonathan Villar is the most, 151. 20 behind him, Marcus Semien at 131. 3 tied for third best. Paul Goldschmidt, Nolan Arenado, and Ronald Acuna Jr. each have 128 hits. At bat leaders in the American League, Jose Abreu leads with 418. In the National League, Jonathan Villar leads with 434. Doubles leaders in the American League, Anthony Rendon leads with 37. Jose Abreu second most with 34, and Whit Merrifield third most with 31. In the National League, Jonathan Villar leads with 45, 10 behind him, Christian Yelich with 35. Trey Turner and Ahmed Rosario tied for third with 29. Triples leaders in the American League, Adalberto Mondesi has the most with 7, Jose Altuve second best with 6. Adam Eaton, Stephen Piscotty, Byron Buxton, and Whit Merrifield all tied for third best with 5. In the National League, Jonathan Villar has 13 triples. Victor Robles and Hunter Pence tied for the second most triples with 7. Home run leaders in the American League, Justin Upton still has the most with 35. Nobody else in the AL has over 30 home runs yet, but these three close. JD Martinez, Gleyber Torres, and Lourdes Gurriel Jr. all at 29. In the National League, Paul Goldschmidt and Ronald Acuna Jr. still at the top together with 36. Pete Alonso rounds out the top 3 with 29. RBI leaders in the American League, Lourdes Gurriel Jr. is at 90, Chris Davis is at 85, and Nelson Cruz third best with 81. In the National League, Paul Goldschmidt has 96, Freddie Freeman second best with 79, and Manny Machado third best with 78. Run scored leaders in the American League, JD Martinez has scored 78 runs, DJ LeMahieu second most with 73, and Jose Abreu third most with 72. In the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. leads with 86, Paul Goldschmidt has 79, and Trey Turner has 76. Stolen base leaders in the American League, Malik Smith and Adalberto Mondesi have the most with 23, D. Gordon the third most with 21. In the National League, Starling Marte leads with 34, 2 behind him, Trey Turner with 32, and Jonathan Villar rounds up the top 3 with 29. Walks leaders in the American League, Rhys Hoskins has the most with 64. In the National League, Mookie Betts has the most with 71. On base percentage leaders in the American League, Miguel Cabrera has the highest at a .418, Carlos Santana second highest at a .410, and Chris Davis third highest at a .409. In the National League, Christian Yelich leads with a .446, Paul Goldschmidt second highest at a .439, and Ronald Acuna Jr. third highest at a .430. Slugging percentage leaders in the American League, Max Kepler has a .632, JD Martinez at a .617, and Josh Donaldson third highest at a .610. In the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. leads with a .733, Paul Goldschmidt second highest at a .701, and Christian Yelich rounds out the top 3 with a .673. On base percentage plus slugging percentage leaders in the American League, JD Martinez at a .1.024, Josh Donaldson at a .1.016, Max Kepler at a .1.010, and Chris Davis at a .1.009. Those are the 4 players in the AL with an OPS over 1,000. In the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. has a .1.162, Paul Goldschmidt's at a .1.141, and Christian Yelich rounds out the top 3 with a .1.119. Moving on to pitcher leaderboards, starting with wins leaders in the American League, Lucas Giolito and Kenta Maeda have the most wins with 12. There's a 4-way tie for third most. Jake Odorizzi, Zach Greinke, Jordan Montgomery, and Hyunjin Ryu each have 11. In the National League, Walker Buehler has 14, which leads all of Major League Baseball. Steven Strasburg second most with 12. Madison Bumgarner third most with 11. Losses leaders in the American League, both Kenta Maeda and Chris Bassett were dethroned from their undefeated records this week. They each got losses. Kenta Maeda got his today against the White Sox, so he has 1 loss. Bassett has 1 loss. They're still at the top of this leaderboard, but they're not undefeated anymore. In the National League, Walker Buehler has the least amount of losses with 2. Saves leaders in the American League, Brad Hand has 34, Liam Hendricks is at 33, Roberto Ozuna third best with 32. In the National League, Craig Kimbrell got a save against the Cardinals today. He's up to 36 now, 3 above the next 3 best. Kirby Yates, Giovanni Gallegos, and Kenley Jansen all tied with the second most saves, 33. ERA leaders in the American League, Jake Odorizzi at a .236, Kenta Maeda second most at a .241, and Aaron Zavali third lowest with a .257. In the National League, Walker Buehler has the lowest at a .213, Marcus Stroman a little higher than Buehler's, he has a .223, and Steven Strasburg has the third lowest in the NL with .250. Home runs allowed among American League pitchers, Kenta Maeda has allowed the least amount with 9. In the National League, Marcus Stroman has allowed the least amount with 7. Shutout leaders in the American League, Masahiro Tanaka has 4, Garrett Cole's at 3, Jake Odorizzi at 2. In the National League, Jacob deGrom up to 5, Zach Wheeler second best with 3 complete game shutouts. Merrill Kelly, Sandy Alcantara, Aaron Nola, and Walker Buehler all tied for third best with 2. Strikeout leaders in the American League, Garrett Cole still the leader with 171, Lucas Giolito 11 behind him with 160, and Jake Odorizzi rounds out the top 3 with 154. In the National League, Steven Strasburg leads with 171, Aaron Nola behind him with 156, and 2 behind Nola, Clayton Kershaw with 154. Complete games thrown among American League pitchers, Masahiro Tanaka has 4, Garrett Cole's at 3, Aaron Savali and Jake Odorizzi tied for third best with 2. In the National League, Jacob deGrom has 5 complete games thrown, Zach Wheeler has thrown 4 complete games, and Aaron Nola third best with 3. Innings pitched leaders in the American League, Hyunjin Ryu has the most with 148, 10 innings above the next best, Shane Bieber, who has 138. In the National League, Aaron Nola leads with 148, Steven Strasburg the next best on the list with 147 and a third innings recorded. Walks allowed among American League pitchers. Carlos Carrasco is allowed 24, the least amount among qualifying pitchers in the AL. In the National League, Brett Anderson has 26 walks allowed, the least amount among pitchers to qualify in the NL. Whip leaders in the American League, Jake Odorizzi, the lowest at a 106. Masahiro Tanaka, second lowest at a 110. Hyunjin Ryu, third lowest at a 111. In the National League, Aaron Nola has the lowest at a 105. Jacob deGrom, second lowest at a 107. And Mike Soroka, third lowest at a 108. Pitching war leaders in the American League, Jake Odorizzi is a 3.9. Masahiro Tanaka, second highest at a 3.5. Shane Bieber, third highest at a 3.1. In the National League, Aaron Nola has the highest at a 3.9. Jacob deGrom's at a 3.6. And Steven Strasburg, third highest at a 3.5. Batting war leaders in the American League, DJ LeMahieu has the highest. He's up to 6. Yohan Moncada, second highest at a 5.6. Francisco Lindor, slightly less than Moncada's, but he's also at a 5.6 with those first two significant figures, and he's third best on this leaderboard. And National League batting war leaders, Christian Yelich, the highest at a 6.9. Jonathan Villar, close to him with a 6.8. And Marcus Semien rounds out the top three with a 6.4. These have been your game recaps, standing updates, and league leaders from Thursday, July the 23rd, 2020. I'm Nicholas Callis. You've been watching Major League Baseball's Virtual Network.